Damn, bro. I Tyrese Halliburton. He's that dude. He's that dude. He is literally the stepchild, the little nephew of Reggie Miller. That's him. Skinny, light skinned kid. Don't look like he should be able to do what he's doing, but he keeps doing it. Hot damn. Bruh, I didn't see that. I saw the Pacers struggling to figure out how to stay in the game. Couldn't get their feet under them, couldn't find their rhythm. Pascal had a rough game. Halliburton was having a rough game. The Pacers in general were having a rough game. They just kept playing. I mean, they are like the epitome of a team that just believes in itself and believes in their system. I think that's one of the hardest things to recognize is like when you have one of those coaches, you hang on to them forever. You just hang on to them. Uh, the Tyronn Lues, the now Eric Spoelstra's, the Rick Carlisle, they're the coach that's seen so many renditions of the game, starting off at just a high level, but they've learned and adapted so many times. They know how to break down just about any team. They know the adjustments, they know rotations, they know their players. There's just so much synergy in what they do with their team. It's hard to compete against him. Like I think a lot of times we pay attention to the players. I like paying attention to the coaches also, like the schemes, the rotations, right? Seeing that Thomas Bryant ain't really doing it for you, so you go with Obi Toppin a little bit earlier, right? You try to exploit the mismatches and you tell them like, hey, Pascal, I need you on the interior and I need you to start there instead of setting these high ball screens. Just stay inside. We're gonna lob it over the top, right? We're gonna slow the game down in different ways and then speed it up in other ways. We're gonna have other guys bringing up the ball so the ball pressure doesn't have the same impact. The Pacers did so many things in this game that allowed, and just from a strategic standpoint, that allowed them to stay in this game. That I think just goes completely unseen, unacknowledged. Like all the different lineups and rotations. This was not a set rotation. This was not a coach who goes, this guy comes in at this time and does this thing. It's probably something I've uh, I haven't maligned JB Bickerstaff for the Detroit Pistons in being this way yet. But there were times where I was like, man, you are sticking a little bit too close to your rotations and you need to loosen them up. You need to, see who's working and who's not. You need to try some different things. This was a game that watching it, I was like sitting there and I was like, man, it may take the Pacers a full game to figure it out. This first game is probably going to be a feel it out game. Let's see what OKC is throwing at us, what it feels like, how do we adjust to it? And then the comeback started. And then you're seeing them just walk down OKC. And something that I'm realizing is I don't really know who OKC really has outside of SGA. Maybe J Dub, but he's struggling with his 3-point shot. And Pascal and Aaron Neesmith's defense has been superb on him. Okay, SGA can go off 35, 40 points. Okay. But who else is going to bring you to the promised land? And watching this game, seeing Evan Turner get the double digit points, block some shots, look effective against Hartenstein and against Chet Holmgren. Well, not as much against Hartenstein, but against Holmgren. Like, Miles Turner can hold his own against Holmgren, apparently. Apparently. And so you start wondering, what does OKC really have offensively? Granted, a lot of their offense comes from turning teams over, playing intense defense, rotating to the ball, getting deflections, runouts, things of that nature. Like, that's a major part of their offense. And Indiana was just giving that thing up. The whole first half, they were just throwing that ball around and it was coming back the other way for buckets and layups. But somewhere along the lines, Indiana slowed down up here. My college coach used to say, move fast, but don't rush. Move fast, but don't rush. And I think it's like the epitome of what the Pacers had to figure out. We want to play fast, but we also got to make sure we don't rush. But then you can see Rick Carlisle understand, hey, this is their first time here. Outside of Siakam, ain't nobody else been here. These guys are going to have to get accustomed to how we want to play. I don't want to slow them down and tell them don't mess up. I'm going to tell them keep pushing, keep the pedal to the metal, and I'd rather you go hard at the wall in this first game and get all your mess ups and your jitters out and you're being flustered and doing too much and pressing too hard in this first game. And then by game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or what have you, that's when you slow it down mentally. But you're gonna play our style. And that was something that I'm watching in this game. I don't know if OKC could really keep up like that. I don't know. I don't know if Dort hits 5 threes. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Can Caruso consistently score double digits? And then when I saw the adjustment that Indiana was able to make in terms of hunting mismatches and posting up Pascal Siakam and just saying, hey, we're just gonna throw it over the top. And we're gonna force these refs to make that call where we're gonna throw it up and Pascal's gonna jump. And the only thing they can do is either undercut him or slap him and foul him. And there was a few times where if Pascal had just kept the ball high, Miles Turner too, if both of them had just caught the ball high and put it back in, there was nothing OKC can do about it. Especially because they were only going with one big. What up, dog? What's good, man? Bronze Malone, man. It's good to have you in the chat. Man, this was a hell of a first game, man. This was a hell of a game. Look, if you're not enjoying these NBA finals, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you just don't like basketball or you only here for, those front row fans that don't watch the games or they just show up to be seen because it's a social event. Maybe those are those types of fans who are like, oh, I don't know any other guys here, maybe. But for us basketball heads, for people who actually enjoy the game, played the game, yo, this is a hell of a game, bro. This was a hell of a game. Like I'm hitting my partners immediately. Like, yo, bruh, hey, you see this? You see what this dude Halliburton is doing. Like, I think even as Pistons fans, you got to be able to like give a brother props when he deserves props, man. He deserves respect. Like, you just hit a game winner in game one of the NBA Finals. Not to mention you hit a game winner in the first round against the Bucks to close them out. Game winner against the Cavs, right? Game time to get into overtime against the Knicks, and then you're gonna hit the game winner after having a really terrible first half, right? He didn't really have a dominant game. This wasn't like a Halliburton at 20 something points, let alone 30 something points. Halliburton was in the teens, I believe. He was struggling. 3 turnovers, it's kind of unheard of, and it was like messy, like, doing too much type of turnovers, which is uncharacteristic for him. Yeah, Indiana pulled that off as crazy work. OKC is still a young team with a lot to learn. I don't even think it's that they're a young team. I mean, all right, J Dub is young. Chet Holmgren is young. Yes, 100%. Those two are young. Case and Wallace is young, but you're not expecting a lot from Case and Wallace outside of defense. Um, yeah, he's the real deal. Yeah, it comes through when needed. It's like when you look at OKC's roster, I see a lot of two-way guys, but are those two-way guys buckets? Can they get you buckets? Right? Like when you look at a team like, let's say, the Knicks, OG Anunoby can get you buckets. Mikal Bridges can get you buckets, right? And they play defense, right? You look at someone like even like Andrew Nemhard, right? Like I don't even look at Andrew Nemhard like he's supposed to give you buckets, but to see him take SGA at the top of the key in the fourth quarter with what was it, 2 minutes to go, a minute something to go, and give him that hit, 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 hit. I mean, he hit him with the Tim Hardaway Senior, step back three, him hit you. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, that's what we doing. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Like, real talk. Like, that's what we're doing? Like you doing that in the finals, bro? In game one? What you gonna look like in game two? In game three, in game four, like your confidence is only gonna build. Your confidence is only gonna build. And the thing is, when I saw Pascal Siakam struggling, Tyrese Halliburton struggling, it kind of makes me think like they're not gonna play that bad again. Like Rick Carlisle is gonna scheme to get those dudes off. And when the rest of the squad is feeling good, man, it could be a long series. It could be a long series. Let me get to some of these comments real quick. This is an interactive live as always. That Nembhard step back three on SGA though. Yes, facts. Was crazy, bro. Was crazy. And the fact that that could have easily been a foul call on Case and Wallace when Pascal Siakam was going for the loose ball, right? That could have easily been a foul call. And if it was, that's two free throws. You know what I mean? Like they could have went up early, and then OKC's trying to take the lead or tie it, right? Yeah, hey, Nembhard is one of them ones, man. I remember when he hit that game winner against the Lakers as a rookie. I feel like from that moment, he just felt validated. He just felt valid. Like when you hit a game winner on LeBron and the Lakers, you know what I mean? Like on a championship team, and you a rookie and you hit that shot, it does something on the inside. Like you like, hold on. I think I belong here. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different level of confidence boost. And then he's consistently been there, even last season against the Knicks, right? He was hitting those shots. You know what I mean? Like he's shown in those moments, in that crunch time. And it's another reason why, you all know like most of my content is Detroit Pistons talk, and it's like it's one of those reasons why I love Jaden Ivey. Like when you got one of those dudes who in those moments is not scared, bro. I'm gonna be honest, some cats are scared, bro. Some cats get short. Some cats don't want that rock. Some cats get that ball and they're like, man, they want somebody else to take it from them. When you got somebody who got talent like Jaden Ivey hitting game winners, multiple game winners, and he's not even your 1A, bro, bro. When you got multiple dudes, that's why I'm so confident about the Pistons. That's why I'm so confident about what this team's gonna be able to do moving forward. Because now you got, I don't want to turn this into a Pistons talk thing, but when they put it together, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary. Yeah, the others stepped up for sure. Obi Toppin was playing, bro. He was playing. Like I know there's a consolidation trade likely coming so that they can retain Miles Turner. I will say this though. We've been waiting on a consolidation trade for a minute, right? They got to re-sign Miles Turner. He's going to get his 20 something million, close to 30, if not 30, for a few more years. We see what he can do when he can do it. When he has the right matchup, when he doesn't have to face a Embiid or Towns or Jokic, somebody with real weight to throw around, he could be nice. He could be nice. He can get you those double digit points, knocking down threes and blocking shots and get enough rebounds to be respectable. He could be nice. I don't know if he's worth 30 something million, but I'll tell you this much. If Indiana wins this championship, they're resigning everybody. Isaiah Jackson's coming back. Well, I don't know if Isaiah Jackson will come back, but for sure, Miles Turner's coming back. Obi will be there. Like they running it back. They're running it back. Um, for sure, for sure. And I think that that's something that I don't think I factored in. I mean, I was thinking about it, and I was like, can Miles Turner have a better series? Like, because this matchup is far better for him. Is far better for him, right? Like Hartenstein, Chet, solid. SSB was good, man. What's up, man? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Salute y'all. Appreciate you supporting me, man. It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with the Rock Never Stops. It's an interactive live chat talking about game one. Game one, NBA Finals. It's a hell of a game. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. If you enjoy this chat, man, make sure you smash that like button for me. hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It lets the YouTube algorithm know you enjoy doing these interactive live with a content producer, um, chopping it up just like we at the barbershop. Yeah, I was mad shocked, bro. I'd hit my cousins up immediately. I was like, bruh, did you see this? Yeah, Indiana won with Pascal and Hallie having subpar games. SGA went off. OKC got a fight on their hands. You couldn't have said it any better than that, Bronze Malone. Couldn't have said it any better. Leading Lions, salute, brother. What's good, man? What should we as Pistons get excited for looking at these matchups? A lot, bro. A lot. One thing I'll say this: like, if we're looking at, we have to go through the Pacers to get to the finals. I'll say this much: I've been saying Jalen Duren has levels to go. When I say levels to go, like he has levels to go in the best way, right? His interior scoring, up and unders, his physicality down there. He still hasn't really necessarily learned how to throw his weight around, like how we saw Karl Anthony Towns throw his weight around. But I would say Duren has a really good handle, like a Karl Anthony Towns. Like he has the ability to put the ball on the floor and get to the rack. He just hasn't figured out that balance between running offense at the top of the key, dribble handoffs, and then attacking his man and having that be a consistent part of his game. Sometimes he just gets caught up in just the dribble handoffs and lobs, and then he forgets he has other things to go to. When Duran takes that next step, which I think the next step is either going to be turnaround face up jumper or attacking his man off the dribble handoffs. That'll be the next thing we see consistently from Duren next season. And then I think the season after that, we see more of the jump shot and then more post touches. But I'll say this: when Duren is aggressive offensively against a defender like Miles Turner can't do anything with him. Miles Turner doesn't have the strength to keep a Jalen Duren from getting to the rim. So this is one of those, like, you're watching this matchup and you're going like, man, they really don't have answers for the Detroit Pistons. I mean, I'll say this: if you put, let's say, you put Nimhard on Ivy, you put Neesmith on Cade, maybe you put Pascal or Halliburton on Asar. That's probably where the mismatch comes. And if we get Asar Thompson, who looked like, well, I should say, if we get Asar next season that looks like Amen Thompson this season, that's not going to be a possibility for Indiana at all. That's going to be a clear mess, a clear mismatch. And then Tobias Harris is still eating up any type of mismatch every single time. Like he's not our go-to guy, but he's the guy that when we need a bucket, he knows what to do. He knows what to do, right? Once again, if you're in here for the first time, my name is Ross. With the Rock Never Stops. Smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Helps out the channel. It definitely does. Man, let me know what y'all thought of this first game, man. Pacers had 18 turnovers in the first half. I'm telling you. I think one of the things that we noticed is that most of the teams that Oklahoma City faced throughout the playoffs on this run to the finals did not have depth at the guard position. Like Denver did not have depth at guard at all, right? They had Jokic bringing it up, and they had Jamal Murray. They didn't have any other guard who could create. They just didn't. Westbrook all over the place, doing too much. They wasn't necessarily worried about him. So you can throw waves and waves of defenders at those guys, knowing that the defense is going to wear them down, and it did. And it was still a close series. And then with Minnesota, man, Mike Conley was just a complete non-factor. Right? They just had way too much defense to throw at them. And it just frustrated the hell. Like, next thing you know, Caruso, Dort, right? These guys are flying all over the place. I think with Indiana, what they're realizing is that, well, when you've got Halliburton, when you've got Nimhart, when you've got Neesmith who can bring it up, when you got Pascal who can bring it up, when you have even Obi Toppin brings it up off the bench, you got TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin, right? Even Ben Shepherd was looking more aggressive. Like there were times I began frustrated with Ben Shepherd because he just looks like He's just happy to be there. And I'm just like, man, you can't have a guy who's just happy to be there in the finals. You need somebody who can actually produce, play at a high level, and like plays with that confidence and intensity. And then all of a sudden he picked it up. All of a sudden you saw him coming off them screens looking to catch and let that thing go with some energy. And I was like, okay, I see you, Benny. I see you, Benny. You know what I mean? Like you actually trying to hoop a little bit, right? And then they don't even have Jarris Walker. I I kept thinking to myself, I was like, man, if Jarris Walker was in this series, man, it would be crazy. It would be crazy because I would be deploying Jarris Walker off the bench as that little bit of do everything guy, right? Give me rebounds, exploit mismatches in the post, defend 1 through 4 or 5, right? Like I'm playing him all over the place. He can facilitate and attack his man off the bounce. Like he could definitely be put on J Dub. You know what I mean? Like Jarris Walker is a bit of an enigma, man. Like I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Indiana, all that's to say is they had a lot that they have yet to unlock in this series. And for them to pull out game one, despite struggling the first half, like incredibly 19 turnovers, it's crazy, especially for the Pacers in a half. I think that that's something that they can hang their hat on and be like, we're not even playing our best ball yet. We're not even playing our best ball yet. Let me get to some of these other comments. Let me see him, see him, see. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch. Rick Carlisle, yep. Seasoned coach. He been there too. Yep. Already got one of them rings, bro. Um, let me see. Shot selection surprised me for OKC. I think that they got I mean, I'm not even mad at OKC shot selection. It looked like OKC that we've seen all season. OKC is taking those shots all year long, right? Knocking down threes, attacking the rim, getting downhill, trying to get out in transition. That's been who they are. J Dub just struggled a lot in this game because I think Indiana was like, you're going to have to beat us from the 3-point line. I do think Jalen Williams figures it out. I think he figures it out. I think he has stronger games. He's going to probably average close to 20 plus points per game for the rest of this series, right? He has to. He has to for OKC to have a chance to win this series. It can't just be SGA. But if you remember, that's how he played against Denver. Really rough early couple of games, and then he figured it out, and then he turned it on. Remember, like J Dub, I believe, is in what, year 3? He's only in year 3. Let me know in the chat. What year is J Dub in? Where's he in? I'm trying to look it up real quick while y'all are looking it up. Jalen Williams is 24 years old. No, that's the wrong. That's not. That's AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell cat came in and hooped though for sure. J Dub's only 24 years old. It's only his third season, bro. His third season. All-star, 21 points a game. I think he's gonna figure it out. I think he's gonna figure it out. I think J Dub is gonna turn it on, but I also think Tyrese Halliburton is gonna figure it out. He's gonna find those angles. I mean, Indiana does a amazing job of maintaining space. Like it's one of those things where it's like in the flow of the game, it's easy to forget where you are on the court, and you don't recognize that, man, 2 or 3 feet closer to a ball handler can completely remove their ability to drive to your side, but 2, 3 feet away makes it wide open for them. Like these are the little things that coaches like heavily emphasize throughout like a training camp. And they're like, look, we just need to get this down. Spacing, we need to get it down so we don't have to worry about it. So we can just build off of it. And I think the Indiana Pacers were figuring out a couple spacing thing, like who was going to set the screen when. I think Pascal Siakam, look, if OKC is going to go with J Dub and Caruso as a power forward and try to guard Siakam at 6'9" with a couple of 6'5" guys, I think Siakam just needs to go block to block all night. Like don't even bring him above the key. Don't even bring him above the key. Maybe set high pick and roll screens with Miles Turner and just let let Pascal or whoever one of them 6'5" guards are guarding in terms of the front court, whether it's Obi Toppin at 6'10", who's got bounce and can finish over them, like that's not gonna work. And if anything, that's the one position that OKC does not have covered. They do not have legitimate forwards. Forwards. I know J Dub plays forward at 6'5". I know you got a 7'2" wingspan, 7'3" wingspan. That's great. But you 6'5", dog. And when you face a forward, a big man who knows what to do with his body, that's why, as if we're honest, that's why the Lakers wanted to face OKC in the first round. That was why. They were like, we can get them up out of here because we know we can slow the game down and just beat them up on the interior, dominate on the boards, and post them up all day because they don't have anybody for that. I was looking at the draft. I know I sprinkle in a little draft talk every once in a while. Smash that like button from y'all. Helps out the channel. Um, I was looking at the draft and I was seeing OKC picks what was it, 15, 16, something like that. I was like, yo, if Rasheer Fleming is on the board or Ace Newell, one of them guys, Noah Singlet, one of them guys are on the board. Oh, that's a pickup. Oh, that's a pickup. That's a pickup. Because that's the one position they need is a legitimate forward. Someone who's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", long wingspan, can play physical. Somebody with 230 pounds, 240 pounds to throw up against a Pascal Siakam. Because you see in this moment, like the Pacers really didn't exploit that until the fourth quarter. And that's when the comeback started. Because all of a sudden, J Dub, Caruso started picking up fouls nonstop because they were trying to keep Pascal Siakam out of the interior. One thing Pascal knows how to do is do what he can do against who he's up against. If it's a big, he knows he's quicker. If it's a small guy, he knows he's bigger. And he knows how to play big against a small and to play fast and quick against a big. Right? And when you got a guy who knows how to use his size or his quickness to his advantage against mismatches, all you have to do is just position him. Sometimes you want to see if he can figure it out, but I think Rick Carlisle is just going to scheme that thing into it. Yeah, it might be the Pacers' year. It might be the Pacers' year. I don't know. I think OKC has to win game two. They have to. Like they have to win game two. But here's the thing. It could be a matter of OKC just doesn't have enough firepower. Could just be. Like what happens when the Indiana Pacers are taking care of the ball? One of the best teams at it all season. What happens when they get used to where the traps are going to come from, where the sneaky defender is going to come in from behind, try to knock the ball away? What happens when they get adjusted to all of that and they slow down up here and they're still playing with that speed up and down the court? And they're putting points on the board, and all of a sudden, SGA's 30 something and maybe even J Dub's 20 something is not enough. Who's that third guy who's going to give you another 20? At least 18, right? Because you're going to need a solid 70 points from a big three. And people do forget the Pacers defense is really good. This is not a typical run and gun team. This is not the Phoenix Suns, right? Of old with Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, guys who aren't really defending, and you try to fill it in with Rajah Bell and Sean Marion, like, or maybe Robin Williams, I'm sorry, not Robin Williams, but Robin Lopez, like this team pretty much top to bottom plays on a string defensively. Even Tyrese Halliburton, right? They're just like, hey, just be where you're supposed to be and give us effort. Know where you're supposed to be. I'm not asking you to be a lockdown defender. I'm asking you to be where you're supposed to be. Know where the rotation is. Don't let your team down. And Tyrese Halliburton is giving them that. Is giving them that. Some of these other comments here. Pacers might be more athletic than I thought, especially when they bring Obi Toppin off the bench. When they bring Obi Toppin off the bench, you see some real athleticism out there. I don't think Mathurin getting re-signed. I mean, Mathurin is still under the rookie scale, so he's got another year until he's up. He may not get extended right now. He may not get extended right now. What he has to prove is that he can do other things. I was happy to see him block that shot, black, not black, block J Dub at the rim when J Dub tried to come through the middle and yam on him, and Matherin just went straight up, stonewalled him, and sent it back. I was like, okay, Matherin, you're figuring it out. You're figuring it out. And then you seen Matherin uh, try to get on the boards a little bit more, and I'm like, okay, Matherin, you're figuring it out. Like, what can you do when you don't have the ball in your hands? Sometimes Matherin has that like too cool for school type of vibe where he's like, yeah, man, I'm doing my thing out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows I can get a bucket whenever. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But now it's time to win a championship, bro. It's time to win a championship. So I need you to take all that athleticism, all that energy, and use it for transition, use it for rebounds, use it for contesting shots, use it for defense, use it for everything on the court. And then when it's your opportunity to get the ball in your hands, go get us a bucket like we know you can. And I think that that's a significant thing. Like, I don't know how many guys on OKC are confident bucket getters. Like, even Andrew Nembhard, who doesn't average a lot of points, he's still extremely confident to get a bucket. And Halliburton and McConnell and Toppin and Siakam, even Neesmith, right? Turner is even confident to go get a bucket. Thomas Bryant is hitting threes. Right. So you look at this team and you look at their depth and you're like, wow, like everybody can get a bucket and everybody can go play D. That's big. I think OKC got to up the score late in the fourth quarter if they want to win the series. Yeah, they're going to have to score a lot more in the fourth quarter. That's for sure. Because that's generally where teams get tired when it comes to the Pacers. Like, they move at such a pace the full game. They have you move. And that's when you watch their offense, they are so dedicated to it. They are like, not only are we going to run the whole time, not only are we going to push the tempo the whole time, but then we're not going to bail you out by taking quick shots. Like, if it's open, sure, we'll take it. But what we're really looking to do is force you to work side by side. Yeah, you had to sprint back and transition. And then now you're sprinting all the way across the court. Right? We're bringing the on-ball screen from the weak side all the way across the court at speed. And we're forcing you to run so much. By the time you get on offense, you tired. You're trying to take off. You're like, oh, let me just catch my breath. And the fact that Indiana can just rotate its guys, just rotate them. They could just keep those guys going. I mean, they're literally going 10 deep. They're literally going 10 deep. McConnell, Shepard, Matherin, Toppin, uh, uh, what's his name? Call him Big Dummy, but Thomas Bryant, right? All five coming off the bench. And that's not even counting when Jarris Walker gets healthy, right? I hope he does. I saw him on crutches. That's always a bad sign. It's always a bad sign. If you see him on crutches, that's like you're probably not coming back for this series. You're probably not. You're probably not. Let me see. SSB. I also don't think Wallace and Dort should play together at one time. They're kind of the same player to me. I mean, what they're meant to do out there is they're meant to generate turnovers. That's what they're meant to do. And then they play off of either J Dub or SGA as spot up shooters or straight line drive attackers. But they're going to have to get some more offense somewhere. Like, they're going to have to be able to say, like, we can utilize this matchup, this aspect of our system to generate offense consistently. Because I don't know if it can survive with just SGA and J Dub trying to get downhill and create shot opportunities. Do you start two bigs next game as OKC? I think I would. I think I would. Wallace starting surprised me. Yeah, I think that was kind of a misstep. I think if I was OKC, I would have gone with the lineup I was accustomed to. But I think what they were scared of, and they may have to make this adjustment, they might have been scared of their bigs getting tired and becoming less and less effective. Um, and they were probably hesitant to play Kenrich Williams at the four. Also, do you cut your rotation if you're OKC? No, you do not cut your rotation. If anything, I think you add in Kenrich Williams. If I cut anything, it might be that other cat who was playing. I forget his name. There was a dude who got in who wasn't necessarily used to playing minutes. Really, what was his name? I said his name a moment ago. AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell got in this game, and it was like, who? Who's this dude? And he looked confident. He was playing well. I don't think he wasn't playing well. I just think that, I mean, I guess they probably played him for some more offensive pop, someone who could potentially generate some offense for them and give J Dub and SGA a breather. I understand that, but I think they're going to have to play Kenrich Williams. They're going to have to go a little bit bigger and maybe go with a rotation of Chet, Kenrich, and Hardenstein. And they're going to have to just rotate those guys because you can't end up with J Dub trying to guard Pascal in the post. That's just too big of a mismatch. It's too big. I don't even know if Kenrich Williams can keep Pascal from posting up, but at least Kenrich Williams is what? He's 30 years old, so he's more grown into his body. And then he's, what is he, 6'7, 6'8, 6'7, 6'8, 200 and, well, he looked like he's about 220 pounds, 230 pounds. So he has a little bit more beef on him. But I think that, like I said, that's the one area of real weakness for this OKC roster. They don't have a forward. They don't have a Rui Hachimura type thick 6'8 forward who can play physically against some of these bigger guys. And Pascal is going to have a clear advantage. I think that we see that taken advantage of in a major way, in a major way in game two. And it's going to be really interesting. Man, final thoughts. What do you guys think game two looks like? What do you think game two looks like? Why didn't OKC call the second timeout in the inbound at the end of the game? I'm surprised they did not draw something up for SGA. Point three is enough time for catch and shoot. Um, you've got to figure out a way to get the ball into your best player's hands. I would have had a play where you want something at the rim, and immediately your secondary action has to be something for SGA. But this is the coaching. This is coaching, right? What's his name? Dagenham. He's never been here before. The lob pass is not what you do with point three at all, at all. Not when the other team has size and length and athleticism in the front court. Right? They're going with Obi Toppin, Pascal, Miles Turner. Like they got more than enough size to deflect even a perfect pass. Um, Not to mention putting size on the ball, which I'm always a fan of, especially in those late game situations where it's, point whatever and they got to catch and shoot. Put size on the ball. Make it a difficult pass that has to be perfect. And even then, when you also have size to get a deflection, that's really all you needed. Once you get a deflection, you're right there. You won. Yeah, next game, I think OKC bounces back. I originally had OKC in 6, but now I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what I had too. I had OKC in 6 or Indiana in 7. That was my original thought. But this game was like, damn, this game was so good. To watch Indiana walk down the Oklahoma City Thunder just like they did against the Knicks in game 1, and they just came marching back. They just came just walking you down. You're tired, and this team just keeps coming. And you're hoping you could just stave them off. You're hoping that you've done enough for 3.5 quarters, and here they come. It's just brutal to watch that happen. Leading Lions was good, man. It's good to have you in here, man. Just about to wrap up in a little bit. Y'all smash that like button for me. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Um, yeah, watching Indiana walk down OKC as they've done so many other teams in that fourth quarter was just, man, a thing of beauty, man. It's just you just have to appreciate it. You have to appreciate it. Yeah, Indiana is hungry. Say that there's similarities between the Knicks and OKC. No, no, no. Very different teams. Very different teams. OKC is up and down Really great defense, a great defense, guard heavy, um, very little on the interior. Uh, New York, very heavy on the interior, not guard heavy, heavy on the wings. Josh Hart, Bridges, OG Ananobi. Um, yeah, New York prefers a half court offense. OKC prefers a full court, up and down racetrack of a game. They're just more dependent upon being able to turn you over. And if I'm honest, I keep saying the point guard position is the new uh, position of value. Like when they used to have 3 and D, that was the valued position, or maybe it was a stretch big, or maybe it's been a 3 and D wing, right? That was something that was really valued. I think now we're going to see the point guard position becomes a new position of high value, where it's like, man, you're going to need two or three of them. You're going to need at least two or three. You're going to need a few who can alleviate the pressure, which is why I really like the Pistons and how their roster is constructed. I really do like this current rendition of the Pistons. Between Cade, Ivy, and Asar, all three can bring the ball up and initiate offense. I think that's a huge advantage, especially in a playoff game where you're not able to necessarily trap or overly pressure either of them. And let's be clear, those three have the downhill ability that very few players have. That very few players, and you have three of them that can get downhill the moment you try to pressure a little bit too much. They can get to the rim in a flash in terms of Ivy and Asar, and then Cade can bully his way. It's like it really halts the idea of pressuring them. Like I really want to see what it looks like, what JB Bickerstaff does with that offense, with those roles and expectations within the system going into next year. Because there's going to be expectations for sure. For sure. But yeah, man. I appreciate y'all jumping on for this live. I needed to because I jumped into spaces and the spaces were just, people talking trash and it was wild. But you know what I mean? Like I want to have a real basketball talk. You feel me? Like there's real basketball angles to look at and to engage with when we think about these schemes and the rotations and just the impact of Obi Toppin coming off the bench. Like it's one thing when you have a Pascal and Miles Turner. It's another thing to bring 6'10" Obi Toppin, who's so athletic, um, has so much speed, great hands, catching the ball, finishing around the rim, and he uses it so well within that system. And then he's hitting threes on you too. It just like it presents such a mismatch. Presents such a mismatch because it's hard to find someone to guard that guy. And like I said, the Pacers still don't have Jarris Walker at their disposal. Right. Like I see, like if Jarris Walker was healthy, he's taking probably Ben Shepherd or Benedict Matherin's minutes because of his defensive versatility and his ability to still shoot and create spacing while also doing other things, passing, facilitating backdoor cuts, or attacking his man off the bounce. He's just an extremely versatile Swiss Army knife type of a player who's 6'7", 6'8", with a 7'2" wingspan at 240 pounds, who can guard 1 through 5. Like he's just phenom. That's why I wanted the Pistons to draft, but Asar Thompson I just think has a way higher ceiling. But hey, oh shoot, Twitter Spaces are way too chaotic. Yeah, it's why I come to YouTube. Facts, facts. Sometimes it's too much. But hey, appreciate y'all jumping on with me, man. Once again, it's your man 100 gram Ross with the Rock Never Stops. Appreciate y'all jumping on. Smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It helps out the channel. Definitely lets YouTube know that you appreciate live interactive chats from a content producer. I'm gonna be on for the NBA Finals because this shit was hella exciting, bro. It was so exciting. I'm gonna be traveling. I might be out of town for Game 2, but I should be back for Game 3. Get at y'all next time. Peace.